Hello YouTube, Reddit Math here, and welcome back to the Banner Saga. I wanted to start out on the title screen as at the very end of the last episode, it looks like we were encountering two new characters. And I would assume on the title screen here that we've got these two over here. You can see the bow with quiver and arrows behind them. We saw I believe this woman with the bow and arrow accompanied by this man in the cutscene that was starting. Also, to clarify, like kind of after rewatching everything, so I think the death of the heir to the Varl throne is just kind of scripted in the sense that he was not participating in that battle. We're just told after the fact that he has been killed in the attack. It didn't have anything to do with really our fight that we were having or anything like that, which makes it make a little bit more sense, truth be told. Without further ado, we're going to go ahead and jump back in and find out a little bit more about these two new characters. Where did that thing come from? She certainly looks worried. Shh, stay close. I think it saw us. I wonder, you know, they almost look robotic, right, in their appearance, but the Dredge, I believe they are. I don't know if they're supposed to be an organic enemy or not. Deployment happens before battle. Click units, Rook and Alette. So this is Rook, this is Alette to deploy them in the blue squares. Oh man, we've just got the two of them. I wonder if he has a bow on his back. I wonder if he has like step. The landsman can move through allies. Mark prey does 1 arm damage. And all allies within range automatically attack the target. Does 1 armor damage. Okay. It's all units between the archer and the target in a straight line. Tell you what, I'm going to move her over there. Him to say right about here. And we'll get started. Careful. Don't get too close. Yeah, I imagine not. Now, am I able to see his movement range? Is that what this is? So he can get to here. So I would say these two squares are threatened. So as long as we stay here, I think we should be fine. At least, I hope that we should be fine. Mark prey. That's just short range attack. Okay. All we can do is end our turn. Alrighty. And just move her up to right here and get in a attack here. Oh man, yeah. So we've got to go for the armor first. It's the only thing that makes any sense at all here. We've got like a 10% chance of doing any damage. Ooh, which is certainly not enough. Alright, that didn't do a lot though. 8 strength. He was able... So, okay, with 8 strength, and I had 8 armor, that left him, I think, with a 90% chance to hit. That's how I'm understanding that. The orange squares indicate the range of the unit's attack. Archers like Rook and Alette have a much longer range than melee units. Okay, so he does have archery abilities. However... I mean, this thing threatens, like, everywhere. If I move him away, it'll just be able to attack her. Yeah, I'm not sure how terribly useful that is. For right now, I'm just going to double down on some armor attacks so that hopefully I can start landing then some big hits like this. Okay, that went pretty well. Not bad. And he's only got 3 health left, so we should be able to end this right here. Nice. And we got a Hunter achievement, which you probably can't see, but my Steam overlay was sure to notify me of. Alright, good, good. Now, yeah, was that a Dredge? So briefly, I'd like to talk about the Dredge. I think, you know, for anyone who didn't see this coming, the humans and the Varl had allied in order to drive back the Dredge, which, you know, is about the most stereotypically, those are the bad guys name you could possibly imagine. And there was some talk in the first episode about now that the war was over, that the alliance between the humans and the Varl was sort of tenuous at best. They had come together over a common enemy, but maybe they didn't have that much in common as two races go. That was just some giant foreshadowing. Like, there's no way that you set up this world in which, don't worry about it, we took care of the Dredge a generation ago, they haven't been seen in a long time. That they weren't coming back was just never going to happen. So I think everybody probably could have called that. It does seem like they're going to be, you know, the true enemies of the campaign rather than any kind of bandits or anything like that. Also, the art style of the game I wish to talk about in the last episode. This is gorgeous. I can't really mince words over that. I get this huge, very like hand-drawn animation from not the Disney style, but like the 1980s, 1970s sort of hand-drawn animation. I'm definitely feeling quite a lot, which is cool because that's a lot of the non-Disney cartoons I grew up with in my own youth. So I'm getting some major nostalgia points watching even not just these set of still images where, again, we've got just kind of minor points of movement, but also in the actual combat itself, all of the movements there are hand animated as well, and they sort of give off that same vibe. All right, so was that a Dredge? Alette asked. Alette looks calm, but you can tell her heart is about to beat right out of her chest. It was. Let me see, are you hurt? No, I'll be fine. When the Dredge attacked your cart and the Yaks bolted, it spilled most of your supplies. You can see more dark figures moving through trees when you glance that direction. All that food, that's the last we're going to get before winter. What do we do? Don't run, let me think. Ugh, forget the supplies, head back. If we hurry, we gather them before more Dredge appear. Or do you think you can handle any more of them? I mean, that went pretty well, right? I kind of... It's weird because I played the Varl in much more of a wise, talky manner, but I kind of just think, let's face these things and see what comes of it. Oh, and Alette is Alette is his daughter. Rook is her father. Okay. No, Dad, I mean, we're already lucky to be alive. I know. It's okay. Let's go back to Skoger. Okay. So I didn't gather my supplies at all. I just left them. Supplies represent food and other goods used to keep everyone alive on the road. When supplies are gone, people will start to die of starvation. Well, that is pleasant. The more people are in the caravan, the faster supplies will diminish. You can see how many days of supplies you have left on the travel display at the top of the screen. Most towns will have supplies to sell, as well as a few items. Okay, so we find ourselves with 3 days worth of supplies and day 5. Oh my, and are we already moving? Yes, we are. Okay. I was like, man, it's just ticking away. No, we were already off there. Okay. We'll easily make it there with 2 days worth of supplies left. The question will be, do we have enough for the winter, I suppose? All right. And the Vox are obviously some sort of kind of oxen-esque creature.
I never expected to see the Dredge with my own eyes. What happened in the north? Already we see more between the trees as we approach our home, and Alette grips my hand tight. We must find Iver.
Well, that certainly doesn't seem good at all if these guys are like a supernatural evil blight on the land that you had to team up with giant/gods in order to deal with the last time. I think I would maybe be a little more urgent in getting home. Yeah. And you can see in the foreground shot, of course, the Dredge lining up there. Lovely. Iver, the enormous Varl. Oh, Iver is a Varl. Okay. So they do seem to live in the human towns as well. The enormous Varl in question towers over the men in the training field. He squints as you approach. Already back, Huntmaster. Thought you'd be tomorrow. Dredge, everywhere. Dredge, how did they get through Greyhorn? Must have broken through the fort. The fighters nearby have stopped sparring. They gather around you. Damn it, they'll be here soon if they're not already. Ooh, you do hear screams. From the outskirts, people are running toward the Great Hall. Iver turns to one of the older boys and his group of fighters. Eggle, take Alette to the Great Hall. Tell the chieftain what's happening. The rest of you, gather up as many people as you can. Come on, Alette. No, wait, I want to help. Let them fight, Iver. Why not invite some goats to join us, too? They're asking for dead kids. I won't let anything happen to her. They'll have to deal with it sooner or later, Iver. What now? Pfuh. Eggle, keep your shield up. We just hold them off until everyone's inside, and we figure out what to do next. More shouts draw your attention to some houses atop a nearby hill. Well, that didn't waste any time with the Dredge coming to town. I love the multi-layered like background, foreground kind of animation as well. And you can see it's not just one or two, right? Like I think we're catching the silhouettes of maybe 7 Dredge right here, and we hear sounds of battle coming from the houses. Sure enough, Dredge are gathering in number. Fear threatens to bubble over into panic. How long do we need to keep this up, you ask? Iver shakes his head unknowingly. That's a bad sign. Wonderful. Turn order. Units move in the order you place them, from left to right. This initiative order is very important when setting up strategies. For example, put archers after melee units so that they can stay safe behind your heavy hitters. Okay, makes sense. So let's get Iver up front. Eggle next, Rook then Alette. That would seem to make the most sense. It also would seem we have an item, Alette's bracelet, leveling and made by a hunter's wife to keep her daughter safe from harm. Also an armor, strength, and willpower. Okay, and I can equip that. It is Alette's bracelet, so it seems to make the most sense we would give it to Alette. And with that, I think we are ready for battle here. Now, we are just trying to keep them busy, as it were, until everyone can get inside. We don't know how long that's going to take. This is our deployment. Move him over one space. Actually, maybe do something like this. We'll try to stay away from the big guy, I think, as long as we can. So that maybe, hopefully, we've thinned out the herd a little bit before he arrives. The one with the shield looks like trouble. Yeah, you're telling me, pal. Okay. Let me handle him. We also have a little morale. Okay, interesting. Like the horn and all of that stuff up top I've never noticed before, if it was there or not. Okay, he's gonna be going, then him, then him, then him. So we've got 2 actions before this guy goes. Well, let's see if we can do 2, let's see, battering ram. Knock adjacent unit up to 4 tiles for 1 arm damage plus 1 per unit they pass through. Okay, so that would be good if he had stuff behind him. Fortunately, since he does not, let's instead just land a fairly hard blow there, doing 5. Now, move into place. I don't have the damage necessary, so I'm actually going to stone wall here to sort of protect myself in case they had attacked him, which it turns out they did not. Rook, do I have some way of seeing like what Rook's range is. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I can hit him from here. I can do 4. Let's actually keep the willpower. It'll drop him to 2, which I think will pretty easily be able to deal with Alette. All right, and they're certainly focusing on my armor from here. Alette similarly, 1, 2, 3, 4. Can't quite hit him, but I think we'd be able to, from this position, thread the needle would let her, if they were all in a row. Okay, gotcha. We'll deal the 2 damage with a little bit of willpower burn. Achievement unlocked, Eagle Eye. Probably for getting our first kill with Alette there. Take it up to 6, or... You know what? I'm going to take it up to 6. It feels like there's no reason not to be burning... Oh, he got a bit closer than I was hoping. It feels like there's no reason not to burn the willpower. Saving it doesn't really seem that worthwhile. Man, that guy is heavily armored, though. Okay. It's down to 4. Can we move him here? Attack. 4. We can do 4 damage here, even without willpower set. I love that animation, by the way. He sets down his axe, like leaning the hilt against him, like the head of the axe against the ground, the handle against his leg, then draws his longbow and fires. That looks so beautiful. Almost no chance of dealing any real damage here. So instead just chip some armor. Oh, okay, not so bad. Let's get in here. And 1, 2, 3. Will the battering ram work here? No, it didn't run him into him. Did get them kind of falling all over themselves, though. And maybe that alone is worth it. I think I'm going to bring him up here and stonewall again. Hopefully... Okay. To attract any damage from the smaller enemy here. And then... I say we just focus the big guy. Okay. He did go around, focusing on our own Varl again. It's interesting to me with the armor. You tend to be fine, like right up until the moment that you're not, right? You know, you're taking no damage. It's no big deal. This is fine. This is fine. Oh crap! They're now dealing more damage than I have armor points, and my HP is very quickly falling. That's at least how I have sort of seen it so far. Just hit him hard. This guy is almost more dangerous now, it would seem. Let's see, he's gonna go next. So let's see if we can deal 3 damage to him, and we can, and then we'll get into pillage mode. Oh no! That's terrible. Okay. Well, fine. Attack. Hit him hard. Okay. I guess I misunderstood the way pillage mode works. I was expecting that I would get to go again, but alas, it wasn't to be. The renown grows. Okay. Rook got promoted. Alette got promoted, or is ready for promotion, I suppose. We gain some renown. Now, are there consequences of us losing our Varl from there? Combat can be unforgiving. Don't hesitate to change difficulty if the battle leaves you frustrated or you find yourself needing a tougher challenge. Use the options menu to change difficulty. Don't worry, you can change the difficulty at any time. It has no effect on the story or the choices you make. Okay? I'll keep that in mind. Maybe for later. A black horde is forming up the tree line. Enough of this, says Iver. Okay, so Iver isn't dead. Like, the actions that took place there did not mean his death in the story. Whether or not he's available in our next combat, I guess, remains to be seen. Glancing over his shoulder, we're going back, and that's Rook. I'm doing one more check of the houses around here. See if you can find anyone. Alright, we'll keep watch. As you turn to head back, a colossus appears around the side of a house. It silently looms over Alette, its face an expressionless, stony mask, more terrifying than any roar it may have produced. Time seems to slow as it pulls back its enormous mace. Shout of warning? That seems like the fastest way. You scream Alette's name, she snaps to attention, confused, but does not dive out of harm's way as you had imagined in your head. Suddenly, Eagle is between the Dredge and Alette, his shield above him. The black stone mace falls, Eagle's shield crumples, and so does the boy beneath it. A moment later, Iver is there, his sword run through the neck of the Dredge. He's gone, says Iver, looking over the boy's shattered skull. Alette gasps, her hands at her mouth. I'm checking the other houses, Iver remarks. See if you can find anyone, and then meet me at the Great Hall. So characters can die from our story choices, but not our combat choices, which seems almost backwards, but is probably easier to script for as gameplay goes. Okay, well, I tell you what then. Let's pop in here. Here we go, into heroes, right? One or more of your units is injured. Injured units can still fight, but have a penalty to max strength equal to the number of days wounded. They heal as time passes. Your items are shown at the bottom of the roster. Drag them. Yep, check. Okay, so because he fell in combat, he's hurt for 3 days. He has -3 strength in battle, but he can rest in camp to heal. Alright, well, let's go ahead and use some of our 19 renown, and it does seem our renown with this group is different from our renown with the others, so it's keeping that separate. Alright, we'll go ahead and use 5 to level up here. And exertion, willpower, break. I'm going to do some interesting things. Willpower and break here. I just kind of want to, at this point, experiment a little bit more with my various abilities. And it seems like using willpower didn't have any negative consequences so far. So maybe I can push our performance, at least in the short term, up a little bit like that. And then an eagle eye. Go ahead and promote there as well. I would say maybe these maximums are a limit of our class. Would that be a thing that would make the most sense? I think so. I could see that. Okay. Okay. A strong arm. Right, like his goes up to 17. His willpower isn't as high. Okay. I dig it. I can dig it. I suppose it's time we check out the market. We have 45 supplies available. One renown gets 3. We have... Okay. Okay, I see. Oh, okay. So we can... Oh. Oh! Our renown... Man, all roads lead to Dark Souls. So our experience points both buy items for us as well as level up our characters. We spend our renown to either gain levels or in shops. I think I see. I think I see. With only 2 supplies, I don't feel like we can bother to spend any of that. So anything we do spend probably needs to come squarely out of renown. Okay, I see. We can just... I can spend renown here to just gain more supplies. We might want to do that. And then... Is this asking for supplies? Or... Maybe it's a second... Like a... Huh. Another bank of points based on the renown we gained, but not influenced by us spending it on other things such as supplies. Bergsoni Bell makes such a deep sound you can barely hear it at all. Armor on rest, +2 drawing aggro, +1 strength. Dodge. Heavy pommel adds a little weight, knockback on strength attacks at 5. I can see that being really good, but not on any of the characters we have. That might not be too bad. On Rook, considering he has the ability to hit from range. If people close with him, maybe his axe swing could knock them back. Say what? Oh, I need at least 15 renown to... Oh, it's straight just renown. Okay, so it's not buying from that. It's buying directly from renown. So we don't have enough to buy any of these. Okay, I see. Well, in that case, let's just buy a few days of supplies. And then I think that'll be it for the marketplace. Hopefully 5 days worth of supplies gets us out of here and headed towards wherever we would need to be headed towards. Did you find anyone? A few. Set them inside. Gods, this is bad. About Gil. It was my fault. He was a good fighter for his age. No family. I thought I've forgotten what it's like facing Dredge. I'm out of practice, Rook. Look, as long as I've known you, you've always wormed your way out of talking about Dredge. This would be the time to start talking. I can tell you they rarely stop for rest. The sooner we leave, the better. They'll follow us until we're tripping over tired women and children. Then they'll attack. Even after we're wiped out, they'll keep coming, trampling corpses in their wake. There's no end to them. How did anyone survive the Great Wars? Ask the Menders. I wasn't there. But I know you've fought your fair share. Yeah, I've killed enough slag for one lifetime. That's why you're going to save us now. Don't lay that on me. Come on, let's get inside. Okay, and we've managed to gather the town in the Great Hall. I'm hoping it is not for our last stand. Rook, thank the gods you made it. Oh, cool. Chieftain has shaved head tattoo. Oh, the Great Hall is an utter den, filled as it is with dozens of terrified families. Don't stop worrying yet. I haven't. What in the depths is going on? Dredge milling around, ransacking houses. The chieftain's wife finds you, pushing through the crowd. They must know we're here. Why haven't they attacked? Oddleaf. Or maybe Oddleif. Cool arrows, though. I don't know. I wouldn't expect it to last. I've made some decisions, but tell me straight. What would you both do in my place? I'd have left by now. They're already outside the doors. Not so easily done. Rook? I trust Iver on this. It's not a decision I care to make. I think we can hold out. I think we should be getting out of here before this noose closes around our neck. Chieftain sighs a deep and heavy breath, slumping. He looks years older. Imagine us fighting back and saving the town. But nonsense. Iver's right, of course. We can't just wait to be slaughtered. Where do we go? Treasure coming down from the north. Frostveller to the west. It's close, and it has walls. I intend to be free of Skogar in one push. Nobody left behind. I wouldn't. If they follow us, we're done. Well, then what do you suggest? Let me create a distraction, then go. I'll catch up on the road to Frostveller. That sounds like suicide. Iver's right. I'll help with the distraction if we set the town on fire as we left. I don't like the idea of him going off, either on his own or really with Rook. Now, if we're not coming back, what if we just set the town ablaze? That is one thing I will not do. We will return here one day, whether I live to see it or not. Fine. Are we abandoning the storehouse? If we have to, you're leaving behind everything but the supplies you brought, Rook. On the other hand, Frostveller is at least a week away. I'm not sure we've got that much food. We don't. We definitely don't. I have 5 days. If it's a week, we're in a lot of trouble. It'll be cutting it close. If we're saddled with heavy carts, it'll be almost impossible to outpace the Dredge. And if we run out of food before we get to Frostveller, it won't matter how many escape. I still say let me handle the Dredge. I can't afford to leave the food behind. It's going to get us killed, Rook. Die fighting Dredge or starve on the road. I'd rather fight. I agree with Rook. I'm coming with you. That catches you by surprise. The chieftain rubs his chin, but doesn't argue. From the training she's given Alette, you've no doubt she can handle a bow. Fine, I'll get the townspeople ready. Take some of the fighters and gather as much food as you can. Tell us when you're ready. I didn't feel like we could just leave knowing that I don't have enough supplies for us to make it to Frostveller. You step into the courtyard where you can already see Dredge in every direction. The storehouse isn't far. You slip inside and start loading carts while Iver and the half-dozen men who came along do the same. When you've gathered as much as you dare, Iver takes up position outside the Great Hall. Dredge have already taken notice, watching closely. Come on, he mutters, and people begin filing out of the hall. Almost immediately, things begin to go wrong. Some Dredge go after the yaks tied to supplies, while others lunge at a cart with chickens. Terrified men pull axes, and the Dredge respond in kind. Not far away, you spot Iver raising his shield, cursing. You prepare for a fight. Now, I find that interesting. So the Dredge aren't specifically attacking people and killing them, right? Like they're attacking yaks tied to supplies, lunging at carts with chickens. But then when men pull axes on them, they definitely respond to that. What are they exactly? All right, well let's prepare for this fight, shall we? Now he is injured, but even at -3 strength, he still has 9? He'll be at 9. Okay, fair. So let's do maybe something that I think that makes the most sense actually. She is not yet leveled up. Eagle Eye and Sky Striker. Rain of Arrows and Puncture. Okay, so that's the same as the ability the Eagle Eye have. But she has Thread the Needle. Okay, bonus damage for 2 points of armor. Her target is lost. The archer gains additional 1 strength to her attack. We should move beforehand. Okay, I see. Don't move. So we get a bonus basically from standing still and firing versus moving and shooting. Rain of Arrows secretly selects an unoccupied tile on the board and fires 3 arrows in the air. If an enemy passes through the selected tile, they're hit by the falling arrow, doing normal strength damage and stopping them in their tracks, ending their turn. Rain of Arrows can be used offensively, defensively, to protect allies, and in general is most effective when forcing an opponent to second-guess his actions. Smart use of the ability can potentially lock down an entire team. Well, something tells me that the AI is probably not second-guessing their actions, but good to know nonetheless. And then she's at 875, a little bit more armor, a little bit less strength, a little bit less will. I'm just kind of comparing her to our other ranged class, the Eagle Eye. Okay, I can dig it. Well, I tell you what, we'll end it on a cliffhangery note, shall we? We're going to go ahead and end this episode here. We'll pick back up right at the combat to try to fight ourselves out of the town before the noose around our neck that is the Dredge can close too tightly. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. If you did, feel free to subscribe. There's more on the channel every day. Leave a like or a comment if you have anything to say about this or any of my other episodes, and I will catch you guys next time.